Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the final ever issues of Build the Terminator, issues 119 and 120.
The Terminator, week by week, built the T-800, the killing machine that defined a generation. Easy to build with high-quality metal components. You can control sound, lights, articulated limbs, and L.A.D. eyes, and explore the Terminator universe. Build the Terminator, issue 1, just $1.99.
Okay, so as I'm very quickly running out of space, I'm just going to show you the parts from here rather than my usual way, but it's the last two, so who cares? So that's obviously the upper part of the stand there. This is the chain that I mentioned, so that's quite a nice detail. So that's going to be affixed to the stand, so one last accessory from them. We've then got the, so this is the support plate, so that's going to be fixed to the Terminator and obviously the stands, that's the metal part. We've then got the, these are the thumb screws. So again, these are metal and nice and strong. They are 6x35mm, that's obviously for the Terminator. Then we've got 4 M3 nuts in the packet. And then lastly, just double checking over here what we've got here. So these are the 119 free. So we've got some little screw sleeves there. So some little screw sleeves and 4 PM 3x30mm screws. All you need for this part is some cocktail stick for some glue for that chain and a screwdriver. And of course, we will need the Terminator for this part because he's going to be fixed. So let's get started. Okay, so steps 1 to 4. This is the back of the support, and you know that because there's holes on the back. So when we're going to be fixing that plate, it needs to be facing on the front. So this is the front of it. So make sure you get that right. So you're going to take 3 of the PM times 30mm screws, and what you're going to do, you're going to thread them through, like I said, from the back through those holes, and then you're going to put on the little sleeves that I showed you over them. So just grab those. Don't know about you, but I'm getting super excited to finally put my Terminator on this epoxy stand. I know some people had temporary ones made, but I was patient like everyone else and waited. But I'll be honest, it's I'm really happy for it to finally be coming to the end and putting him on there. So once you've done that, you're going to be putting it on this way up. So obviously these grooves here, they actually want to be down. So just align them over those holes. So a bit tricky from the angle I'm looking at, but I want to make sure that you guys can see better. So just make it a little bit more difficult for myself. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to put over those M3 nuts to secure them into place. Okay, so I've fitted those M3 nuts on, so I'm just going to secure that into place now with the screwdriver from the other side. And I'm going to tighten it up very well because obviously I want it to hold a lot of weight and somewhat uneven weight as well, because as we know, he's a little bit top heavy. And mine personally, the odd place is a tiny bit flimsy, so I want to make sure he's got the best support he can get. So okay, that feels nice and snug. So that's how that's looking at that point. Right, so for the chain itself, it says you can either fix it onto the base or just not fix it. What I'm going to do, once I've actually stood the Terminator up and got him into place, that's when I'll be able to then accessorize the base a bit better because he's in place, and then I'm just going to pop that on where I think will look best. So let's move on to steps 6 to 8, where we're actually going to fix the Terminator to the support poles. Okay, so this is the delicate part, picking up the Terminator, so I have to be very careful here. I'm going to show you from the back where those large screws are going to go into place. Hopefully my Termy won't fall apart during the process. So, okay, a little part there just fell off. So at the back here, there are two large holes. So I hope you can see them there. So there's one there and one there, and that's where they're going to go into place. So I'm just going to do that now, and then I'll be able to connect him up. And they just literally screw through. So that's one. And there's the other. So now it's time to hook him over. And don't worry, I'm going to adjust the camera angle so you can see a bit better, but I'm just getting him into place for the moment, just so you can see. Okay, so starting from the base up, obviously you can see I've not got the other accessories on there yet, but I've got him fully stood up. Now he's a little bit lopsided, I don't know why, but he's looking pretty menacing, as you can see. Little bit of a concern at the moment. I've been trying to attach a gun, but unfortunately it just seems to be too heavy to hold him. To hold up, sorry, and as we know, the fingers are an absolute abomination. Mine don't look too great. I'm hoping there's going to be some mods coming back out so I can do the fingers again and make them stronger, because as it stands they won't hold anything, and also his arms don't seem to articulate, which is I don't know why, because I've definitely done it correct, but that's how it's standing finally. So it's looking pretty cool. So now I'm going to move on to the remote control. The last issue, 120, and then hopefully we will have everything set up nicely to put on a great show with a completed base and a completed Terminator. Right guys and girls, we've made it to the final ever episode of Build the Terminator. I did not think I'd make it to this day, but I have, and I'm really pleased. And now we're going to work on putting the remote control together and then finally getting him up and running. So the pieces you need, you've got the remote control case, the front part. Obviously this is the back. Then you've got the battery cover. Then you have your control buttons here. No, sorry, my bad. These ones. Then you've got the transparent elements. And then lastly, the actual circuit board. In terms of screws, so you've got 5 PV 2x4mm, and then you've also got 2 PM x 6mm and 2 M2 nuts. All you need is obviously the model and its stand, super glue and a cocktail stick, sorry, and 2 AAA batteries. Right, so steps 1 to 4. First of all, I'm going to take off the clear elements from this section here, because what you're going to do is you're going to pop those through the front of the cover. So obviously you're going to look for where those holes are on the front of the remote. So pretty obvious. Those two there, and also where are the other two actually? They are at those strips there. Okay, so once you've identified where those transparent parts are going to go, obviously along those parts, you're going to put a little bit of super glue on the edge of them just to secure them into place. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Just put a little bit on the sides. Hold that into place like so. And then repeat the process for the strips there and the one on the other side. So I'm just going to do that now, then I'll show you it complete. Okay, so that's how it's looking at that point. I've secured those all in now, super glued nicely. So we move on now. Move on to steps 4 to 7. So looking at the control buttons here, Each one is numbered for the corresponding actions. So 1 and 2 are up and down for the jaw, 3 and 4 left and right for the eyes, 5 is for the eyes again to light them up, 6 is the power, 7, 8 and 9 are sound, 10 and 11 are the blue searchlights, and 12 and 13 are the red ones. So what we're going to do here, one at a time, we're going to take them out and we're going to pop them in the corresponding parts of the remote control. Okay, so you won't need any glue for these points. So it's literally just finding the appropriate part and popping them in. So obviously that's the power button. So that's obviously going to go into the top. This is going to be pretty self-explanatory really, because it's like any other remote, I guess, pretty much. So I'm just going to put them through from the back. Try not to lose them, one at a time. So I'm just going to do a couple for you and then I will move on. And obviously you'll know if you've done one wrong because it won't fit snugly. It should just go in nice and easy like that. But obviously because they're not glued in at this point, they will keep moving, so just make sure you do it from the upside down position. Right, so they're all in position now. I'm not going to flip it around because obviously they'll fall out. So now you've done that, what you're going to do, you're going to take the circuit board and you're going to position it over the buttons so that the contact points in the circuit board are not visible and they connect with the buttons. 4 holes in that circuit board fit over the pegs in front of the remote control. So I'm just going to check that. So you'll see there are 4 holes and also the pegs on there if you can see. So just line that over like so. Okay. And then once we've done that, we are going to use some screws to secure that. Okay, so once done that, we're going to take the back of the remote and you see at the bottom there's some hexagonal recesses where an M2 nut will fit. Sorry, there's just the one, sorry, in the middle there. Use a cocktail stick, put a bit of glue in the recess and fix that nut into place. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so that's in there now. Just going to let the glue set. Once I've done that, I'm going to take the front and the back and position them together side by side so that I can plug the connector from the back into the socket of that circuit board. So obviously that's that part there, and it's going to go into that port there. So first of all, let's just plug that in like it says, side by side. Well, I'm actually going to go slightly over. So it's showing to do it from that side, so my mistake. So I don't know if you can see that. That's just going to go through there. Okay, so that's in there now, nice and snug. Once I've done that, you're going to spin it around like so. So that sits flush onto the front of the remote, so the back and the front are connected. And all we're going to do at this point is use 4 of the 2 PB times 2 4mm to secure those into place. So I'm just going to do that now. Nice and simple, fingers crossed everything's going to work. And obviously all we need to complete that are 2 AAA batteries. Oh, sorry, AAA batteries, my mistake. So let's just secure that into place on the remote. And I'll grab some batteries. So the batteries are in, just going to pop the battery cover over. And to secure it into place, you're just going to screw one of your PB screws, the 2x6mm, so the last one. And then once we've done this, that is the stage complete. That is the last ever issue complete, and that is the Terminator complete. So I can actually start to test if the model actually works or not. You know, if everything's done correctly circuit board wise, or if it's just a fault. Hopefully, like I said before, there's not going to be any problems and it's all going to fire up nicely. Otherwise I'm going to have to film another video once it's complete. Okay, that's the remote complete and 120 complete. Okay, so the remote has been made and I've also finalised connecting the Terminator up. Now, off camera, I tried to actually set up the lighting and the sound and everything else that was to be done. Found a couple of errors though, mainly with the head motor first of all. If anyone remembers, in issue 18 there was a mistake from the manufacturers when they sent out the eyes, so they were actually the wrong way around, and the plastic connector which actually moves the eyes was the wrong way around, and for some reason, I don't know how, I didn't actually change it despite the fact they told us. So I went back and checked it. You know, I had to be very careful of opening the head. Thank you to World of Wayne for your video on how it's showing you how to take it apart without damaging anything, and just saw it was the wrong way around, so flipped it around. Then it's working, so I'm going to show you that in a moment. Lights were fine. They were moving, obviously they were turned on, but they also weren't moving. The jaw, for some reason, even though it was connected, wasn't working, but Open Up seems to have fixed it, so it's done. And the lights on the bass and the music, they're absolutely fine, so everything's good to go. It's completely finished, so I'm going to freeze the camera for a second, spin it around, and I'm going to show you guys finally, after 2.5 years with Hachette, only one for Agora, luckily for those guys, that now we finally have a 1-to-scale T800. Right, so if you remember, guys and girls, you need to actually take the back plate off the Terminator, because that obviously gives us access to the to his power bank. So I'm just going to take it off now and then switch it on, and then I'll show you the rest after that. Right, so I've taken it off, and as you'll see, the power part is there. So you need to hold it down for a few seconds, and the eyes will flash twice and remain on. So just before you actually do the test, double check that the switch is actually on. Okay, so as you can see, the eyes have lit up. My batteries were actually dead, so hence why it didn't work. So once you've done that, you're going to turn on the switch on the base. So I've just put the switch on. Then we're going to take the remote control, wherever that is, and you'll see here that it says to turn on the power, which I've done. Okay, so for the best effects, I'm going from pure darkness here. I'm going to pop the lights on so you can see there. Then let's put his lights on. And then lastly, the music. So I'm filming him with the light off and also with the light on, so you can see the comparison. You can see that his eyes are moving. And I went for the same lights on the same side, because I didn't really want the contrast and colours across. I just like it like that. So that's how he's looking there. I don't know if you can see, but the jaw, you can move the jaw as well. So just going to move him up there and down there. And we've got 3 theme tunes as well. So I might get the upgrade from Partworks, from Ian Campbell, for the other additional soundboard to have some more from the film. But yeah, it's looking pretty menacing, as you can see. So some additional things that I added on, as you can see, I've got the bullet chain belt there wrapped around the Termy. So that's from Partworks upgrades. Obviously I've got a Gatling gun as well there. I spray painted that black. You've we've got the Sarah Connor photo there. In the back there, that's a signed Terminator 2 Judgment Day script, which is pretty cool. And obviously you all know about my mods, what I did to the base and also to the additional bones and skulls. CPU chip there from Partworks Upgrades again. A nice little Sarah Connor Universal card there as well. Coming on the back, we've got some other bits here, some fragments of Terminator, like this faceplate there. Part of the bone of the Terminator as well down there, the chain. So yeah, quite a lot going on, but I really like it. As you can see, I haven't actually got the hands holding the guns, and that's because they literally won't hold them. As we know, there's been quite a lot of problems with obviously the Terminator's fingers, even with the upgrades, and sadly that wasn't meant to be for this Terminator, but I'm happy with how he looks overall. Hope you guys are as well. Just in the back there I've got a nice little blueprint of a Terminator T800. So I got that from eBay. Someone put it in the group quite a long time ago, so I can find the link and put in the description if anyone wants that. And the same for all the other items I've got here, you know, the extras, just to give you that real, you know, that real movie vibe about it, you know, attention to detail added on those key components. So as you can see, look, the jaw's working nicely, and we've also got the eyes moving as well, so you can hear the motor moving on there. There you go, see that moving there. One of them's a little bit brighter than the other one, but I'm not too bothered about that. And then just one more time with the jaw. So pretty cool. 2.5 years. That is my Terminator in a nutshell. He will take pride and place now. And next up is Iron Man. Don't forget, I'm building the Iron Man Mark III. That's the one I'm going to continue now. So that's it, guys and girls. From March 2019 is when I originally started that, and we've gone through COVID. I mean, we still kind of are now. I've not lost faith. I've stayed committed. There's been real tricky parts in this build, I'm not going to lie. Times I just wanted to jack it in because it was a real pain. Fingers, big problem. Other issues, neck droop, leg, head drooping. I've got some mods coming for that from Partworks Upgrades, so thanks Ian. And just general, you know, like, well, be honest, the build in parts is not the best quality, but the general overall aspect of it is. You know, at the end of the day, it's still under £2,000 retail, and you know, I'm really happy with what I've got. I just would have hoped I could do a bit more with the Terminator, but I'm happy overall. The jaw's moving, the eyes are moving, everything's working electronically, so I can't really complain any further. I'm just elated to finally finish and have him, you know, there to be in his glory. So like I mentioned, Iron Man Mark III is coming back now, so I've got issues 12 all the way to 30, so I've got quite a few to catch up on, so I will be working on that. That's not a 1 to scale, so it's quarter scale, I believe, so it's not going to be as big as the Terminator, but still quite substantial, not going to be a little miniature, so that's really exciting. Look forward to cracking on that one, and hopefully you'll also tune in for that if you're one of my subscribers to Terminator. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined me on the journey, everyone from the groups. I'm on Facebook on quite a few of them. Shouts out to various people who've helped me with like issues I had, like faults and mistakes I had personally made. Remember, this is my first time ever building something like this and completing it from start to finish. As a child, I always wanted to do these things and I never was able to because it's too expensive, you know, £40–50 a month. As a child, let's face it, whose parents are going to pay for that? So thank you guys for all the recommendations, all the tips, all the banter. It's been really funny. Everyone who's not on the group and has not been on it, thank you for tuning in, watching my content, engaging with it, subscribing, and just generally like enjoying what I'm doing, you know. It's a great thing to do. So thank you so much, and stay tuned for a lot more Iron Man's coming. Like I said, also got to finish off that Lego Iron Man as well, and then maybe if I've got time, which I don't think I will, but I might consider another build. But our focus is on Iron Man now. So take care, guys. I'll see you soon, and we'll be working on Iron Man very soon.